What's going on, everybody? This is Alex. Just thought I'd do a review real quick of something that I picked up the other day. It's kind of cool. I bought the Bas Rutten O2 Trainer. I saw Bas talking about it on the Joe Rogan show, so I thought I'd give it a shot. To give you guys a little background about me, I do Capoeira. I study at Capoeira in Boynton Beach, Florida. If you don't know, Capoeira is a Brazilian martial art. I'll put in a link down at the bottom of this video just so you guys can go check it out as well. So just to give you a little bit about this, it's an inspiratory muscle trainer. If you don't know what that means, it means it actually teaches you how to breathe properly and helps you strengthen the muscles, so breathing becomes a lot easier when you're not training or when you are like fighting or doing any kind of physical exertion. It'll make things a lot easier for you. You might have heard something about stuff like that with the elevation mask. That's how I learned about it. I was watching the Ultimate Fighter, and I would see guys coming in with these oxygen masks, the elevation masks that look like something straight out of some war movie or whatever. Did a little bit of research on that, and I found out that basically it just simulates high elevation training. It came with 3 different mouthpieces that would simulate different levels, like 1,000 feet above sea level, 5,000, 10,000 feet above sea level. And then I found out about this, and the big difference is that Bas doesn't really talk about it as being an elevation trainer as much as it's an actual muscle trainer, which to me is a big difference. It's something that people don't get. Breathing is obviously what you need to do to survive, next to eating and drinking water. And as a musician and a singer as well, I know that you really do need to have proper breathing techniques to really be successful in just anything that you decide to do. If you don't breathe right, you're gonna pass out at some point in time. You're just not doing the right things that you need to get your body at its top level. So let's get into this whole thing now. Like I said, I bought this. I actually picked this up for 50 bucks straight from the Bas Rutten website. I'll put a link again on the video. It got shipped to me within the week. I think I got it. I didn't even pay for any like fast shipping. It literally got in there for a week. So let's pop this open. It comes with this little wrapper on this black box. Pop open the box, and you can see it actually comes with a manual, nose plug. I don't know if you guys can see that well, and a bunch of little filters. Now let's get into the whole thick of everything. So you can see this is the main piece right here. This is the mouthpiece that you'd be using, and basically when you first get it, and just wash it off. I mean, it's been in the box, you know where it came from, so rinse it off. And just so you get an idea, it's very simple. Just pop it in your mouth and breathe. If you look on one side, there's a big gaping hole right here, and then there's a little gate right here that actually pops open and closed to kind of help the air come out better. So just so you get another quick view. So the air mainly comes in and out through here, and it escapes through here a little bit. You can hear the whistle. That's the only downside. It's a little annoying, but whatever. When you're training, that's the least of your worries. It comes with this nifty little nose plug that I just dropped, so it keeps you from cheating and breathing out through your nose. And then if you look, it comes with several different filters, and you can kind of get an idea of the size difference. And basically, these are the restrictor plates of the airflow coming in and out. So it ranges from something this big all the way down to basically you're going to be breathing out of this. The cool part is that, like I said, it helps you learn how to breathe in properly. Now, most people don't realize when you're doing your normal breathing, you are breathing improperly. You are breathing wrong. I know it might blow your mind to think about it, but if you look at it just on a normal science point of view, most people breathe in through your chest. So you can test this out. Take 2 hands, put one hand above your chest, and then another one on your stomach, and take a deep breath. You'll notice most people, their chest expands. You'll do this. That's wrong. You want to breathe from your diaphragm. You want to breathe from pulling your stomach out. So instead of trying to expand your chest, you're actually pulling the diaphragm down, bringing the air in. Why does that help? Well, if you think about it, when you're breathing in through your chest, you're trying to expand your lungs, and they're hitting the chest cavity. You're basically fighting against your rib cage, and the whole point of your rib cage is that it doesn't move. It might flex a little bit, but it's not supposed to move. So you're fighting your own bones. While when you use your diaphragm, you're just pulling down the air, and you're actually expanding your lungs and closing them back down from the bottom, and you're opening up your entire chest cavity through the diaphragm. It sounds a little weird, but like I said, I went to school for music, and it's the same way that they teach you how to sing. You have to sing from the diaphragm. You must have heard that 100 times. So the cool part is this helps you out, and you can always just check it out. Just pop it in. Relax your shoulders. If you see your shoulders doing this, then you're just trying too hard. You shouldn't have to move. It's just going to be your stomach moving in and out. So my goal, truthfully, for this whole review is I'm going to do the whole 8-week course of training with this. I actually was out of commission. I dislocated my shoulder and broke my hand. So this is going to be me going back into training, starting capoeira all over again. I have been doing some lightweight lifting the last week and a half. I'm doing some cardio, so it's not like I'm totally out of shape on it. I'm not going to try and make myself pass out. If you guys need some more instruction on breathing properly, I put in some links. I'll even put in the link for the Bas Rutten website, so you can see where I got it from. You can see instructions from Bas himself. The commercial that he did for this thing is freaking hilarious. He did it in one take, and he just starts going off on a tangent that you won't even know what he's talking about by the end of it. But he's definitely a good salesman and comedian. So props to you, El Guapo. The sales pitch worked. So we're gonna give it a shot. I'm actually getting ready to go to the gym right now. So what I'm gonna do is tonight is some more lifts, like, you know, just weights, and then 2 miles of cardio. Like I said, since the first time that I'm training, I'm gonna warm myself up with a mile of cardio, and then another mile of running, and we'll see how I come back. Now the big thing is, if you guys decide to try this out, if you start feeling faint, stop, take it out. There's obviously it's not doing its job right, so you definitely want to follow the instructions properly, and I'll give you my review when we get back. Alright, so you guys stick tight, and I'll get more on this review. Alright, so I'm back. A little over 2 hours, an hour and a half, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Amount of time since I went to go work out, and I just washed off the mouthpiece. So for my initial review, only 2 things really that I feel are kind of wrong with it. 3 maybe, depending on who you are. But first thing is the whistle. The whistle kind of gets annoying. I don't really care. I mean, I had my headphones on when I was running. I did a mile with the mouthpiece in. So running a mile with this thing in your mouth, like, you either run faster so you don't have to hear it, or, you know, Bas, you might want to do something if you decide to make a second generation one of these. I mean, you hear it. It's not too bad. Whatever, you're training. You got other things to focus than to have this thing annoy you. Part 2 is, you know, you might want to have, Bas, you might want to make some kind of mouth guard case, or like a case for this thing for when you go to the gym. I just put it in a Ziploc bag, and I put it in my bag. So when it was time to run, I just grabbed it out of the bag, put it in my mouth. When I was done, threw it back in. But that's kind of tedious, so maybe if you had some kind of case, you know, so you could kind of keep it in your pocket or something, make it a little easier to carry, maybe a little bit more hygienic to carry. I mean, you're at the gym. You know, I did it after I was lifting weights, so I washed my hands before I put this anywhere close to my mouth, just in case. The only other thing that I would say just to pay attention to is, you know, if you ever put a mouthpiece in, like a mouth guard, if you haven't, like, it might kind of get annoying because you have to hold it in your mouth. You don't have to bite down. Don't bite down on this thing, because it actually would make you restrict the airflow more. You just kind of just hold it in there. So that might annoy some people at first. Maybe you might feel some kind of discomfort in the jaw. You know, I haven't put a mouth guard in. You know, I haven't done any kind of sport like that in a long time. So you know, it took a little getting used to, like a minute into it, then I was fine. So that's just something to keep in mind. ran a mile with it and then another mile without it. You'll definitely feel it once you start paying attention to your breathing. It's great. It's definitely a good ab workout, just because you start focusing. Once you have this in your mouth, you'll start focusing on really breathing properly, like I said earlier in the video, using your diaphragm. And I'll put a couple of links at the bottom so you guys can go and do some more research on it, so you can see how the breathing actually can help you perform better. It's one of those little things that you just have to tweak in your game, and whatever you do, whether it's you do MMA, you box, whether you play soccer, football, whatever sport you do, breathing is a big part of it. So definitely click on those links, check it out. If you guys have any questions, send them in. Just go ahead and send them to my YouTube, and let me know what you think. This is, like I said, the first day of the first week, so I'm gonna be planning on doing the next 8 weeks training with this thing. I'll do little things. It won't just be running. One day I'll do capoeira with it. Another day I'll do some plyometrics training with a friend of mine. So we'll do little clips, and I'll take video clips of that as well, so you guys can kind of get an idea of, you know, how it rates during actual usage, and if I actually see any kind of performance change. So that's it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Hey, thanks, boss.